Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, another commentary. Actually, the first commentary.
Technically another one.
Technically.
Before this video gets started, this is not for kids.
No, this is not for kids. Star Wars is not for kids. It's not like Ewoks are a thing or porgs. But neither of those are in this movie, thankfully. I don't mind porgs. But anyways, we are doing a commentary for The Force Awakens. We have it queued up. We're going to start here in a second. So if you guys want to watch along, get Disney+. Super easy to watch these. We already did a Last Jedi commentary.
If you have Verizon, you can get Disney Plus for free.
Yeah, for a year.
For a year. I don't know if it's Disney Plus or I don't know if it's Verizon Unlimited because I have unlimited data, so I don't know if that is why I get it for free for a year. But anyways, check.
I mean, there's so many things on there. The Mandalorian, all the new Marvel shows. It's going to be worth it eventually. So get it. Like, watch our commentaries. If you own the movie,
and that price is gonna raise once they start coming out with new shows.
Yeah,
that price is gonna up because the reason why it's only $7 a month is because there's one show.
Yeah. So we're going to watch The Force Awakens. We're going to talk through the movie. If you guys don't know what a commentary is, we're going to talk through the movie. So if you have a problem with that, still watch the video. All right, here we go.
Just watch the ads.
Just watch the ads. Oh, gosh, I didn't even think about the ads. They're going to pop up during the commentary, and they're just going to... Okay, let's not think about that. Here we go. Force Awakens. Let's just get this started right away. I didn't even give a countdown. All right.
Well, Lucasfilm is up.
No, I'll restart. Right. Ready? 3. We're at 0, 0, 0. All right, we're 0 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are going 1, 2, 3, 4. You should be able to link up. Lucasfilm is popping up. Remember when we saw this in theaters? We waited. How long did we wait outside?
So we waited. I believe we ended up waiting like 4.5 hours total because we got there because our movie was gonna start at 7. And this movie came out right before we started getting
reclining seats. It was even that theater that we went to still doesn't have reclining seats, but it does have reserved seating now. But this was back in the day when you had to wait outside for a movie because they wouldn't let us in the flipping building.
You know what? I'm glad that we got to experience that because that's what everyone got to experience when the originals were out and even the prequels, at least for episode 1.
Yeah. To this day, it's still my second favorite theater experience. What's your first? Infinity War.
Oh, but yours was different.
Mine was different because I had there was 8 of us in the theater. We got to see it a little bit early, and we were going nuts. It was incredible. Yeah, but so like an actual theater with a crowd, with a big crowd, with an audience.
It was incredible.
This was incredible.
It was incredible. Well, and it's funny because we got there. So the movie starts at 7. We got there, I believe, at 2, right? Because we thought they would let us in at 6.
Yeah.
Or like 6:30. So we got there at 2, so we actually waited for almost 5 hours.
Yeah, and there was a decent line already.
5 hours, because I remember our movie got delayed, remember?
Yeah, well, yeah.
So everyone else's line went in. We were stuck outside.
We were the first show.
And we were the first show.
Yeah.
And so we didn't get in there until like 7:15, I'm pretty sure.
We got in there around 7:15. The movie started probably around the time when previews would have ended. So it's not like our movie started too much later. It may be a little bit later.
But then we had the crazy beginning to the movie.
So the Lucasfilm pops up on screen. The lights in the theater are still blaring bright. Like, it is bright.
And everyone's freaking out. The lights are on! The lights are on!
Everybody's screaming, going nuts. And as soon as the Star Wars logo pops up with the music, lights shut off like that, and everybody just
the Lucasfilm
lost their minds.
Well, but before that, the Lucasfilm would go on. Right. The lights were on, so people would yell. Then it would go away, and it was like, ah. And then it would come back on, and people would like start cheering. But then like, wait, the lights are on. And then it went away. And then the third time, Lucasfilm came up, and I was still freaking out. The lights are on. The lights are on. Boom! Right when the Star Wars logo came up, the lights went off.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Such a good moment. And like we kind of missed the crawl, but the first line of the crawl is Luke Skywalker has vanished.
Right.
What a great way to open the crawl. Like, same thing with Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, because then
line
just
is war. Just war exclamation point. This one, Luke Skywalker has vanished.
Right, and the thing is like when your first time you're seeing this movie, it's been 30 years since we've seen these characters. Yeah. So you're like, oh, okay, this is going a very different direction than we already thought it was going.
For better or for worse, when this first came out, everybody was loving this movie. This movie came out with praises.
Yeah.
And the first line of the movie, this will begin to make things right.
Which is hilarious because, it's
there
like...
it is, yeah.
It's like, all right.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of breaking the fourth wall there. But
yeah. It's this movie is so good. I love this movie. It's up there. I still think Rogue One is my favorite of the new Star Wars movies, which might be a more controversial opinion. That's Star Wars fans.
I mean, I
love Rogue One, but this one is easily the second.
I would say Rogue One may be a better film in general, but like for me, this is still my favorite out of the.
You know what I mean? It's this movie, like, it is definitely a rehash of A New Hope in some ways, but the characters that they introduce in this movie are so great that it makes up for that for me.
Right.
Like, Poe Dameron is like, the movie starts with Poe, which is interesting.
That well, did you know he was supposed to die?
He was supposed to die, yeah.
He was supposed to die in the TIE fighter crash.
Mm-hmm. But like he was so like even in the small amount of time that he had, even in the script, they're like this guy's cool.
Yeah.
Let's have a really cool pilot character that kind of takes from Luke Skywalker and Han Solo, and it's kind of like a mixture of the two, and have that be our character.
Right.
And also clearly J.J. Abrams, you see the lens flare.
And right off the bat, this is awesome.
This is great.
I mean, even to start the movie, you're seeing the new stormtroopers, which is awesome. But then it's just this attack on this small town.
Yeah. Such like an Empire First Order type thing that would just pillaging this entire town, this poor village.
And then first time we're seeing a TIE fighter in years, so it's like, okay, this is cool.
You mean X-wing?
Or TIE fighter, X-wing, yes.
I was like, we have not seen an X-wing or a TIE fighter yet. Well, these poor stormtroopers. So then you see Finn and then the blood, and it's isn't this the first time blood was seen in Star Wars? Technically, or no? I think Revenge of the Sith you see like him being on fire, him being burned, but I think this is the first time you see blood.
Yeah, I think so. I can't think of another.
This guy's cool.
Yeah, I have that pop.
Star Wars has always done things like there's a character in the background of a shot, and you're like, what is that guy's story? That guy was
especially with stormtroopers.
Yeah, stormtroopers. There's one shot in what the heck is the movie called? Return of the Jedi, where the Emperor and Vader are talking in the throne room. There's these two guys in like these purple like robes, like standing behind them, and they like, what are those guys? Who are they?
Right.
Like, what the heck? Such an interesting. Oh, there it goes, Finn's friend, I think. Oh no, that's Finn's friend. Yeah. Rest in peace. And he got shot on like the side, and he has blood on his hand. I guess maybe he.
Yeah, he probably grabbed it.
That became kind of iconic from the trailers, right? Wasn't that in the trailers? Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if you guys don't know, I avoid all Star Wars trailers. I've not seen more than a second of footage from The Rise of Skywalker. But I always watch the trailers after the fact, after the movie comes out. So as soon as I see the movie, I go home and I binge all the trailers.
Well, you got a lot to watch because I think they're coming out with a TV spot every day.
Yeah, no, they have been. I've been adding it to my playlist of what to watch. That's a great shot.
But it's funny, in all those TV spots, they're all the same scenes, just from a different angle. It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we were talking about this earlier. I want to see if because I was joking that the production designers we need to see every corner of our sets. So I want to see this J.J.
Just
Abrams
that
again.
scene alone where they're showing all the stormtroopers, there was like 5 different shots.
5 different angles. Also, introduction to Kylo Ren. His ship is cool. Yeah. I always wanted the Lego of his ship.
This was one of the coolest moments in the theater because everyone just got like super silent and you just wanted to hear him speak.
Yeah. I'm glad that they don't always have him in the mask like Vader. Mm-hmm. You actually get to see him. You get to know Kylo Ren more than you got to know Vader. Like, Vader's a great imposing villain, and you do find out a lot about him in the original trilogy. But you really get to go deep into this character, how Anakin Skywalker should have been in the prequels. That's exactly what they gave Kylo Ren, and it's really cool.
And I like how they tease his family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right
they have it.
So,
they plant the seed right away.
Right.
And there he goes. I forgot his name.
This moment. Cool.
We need to see more of this, right?
Yeah, that was cool.
Why did they ever stop?
Here's the thing. A lot of the stuff that we thought was really cool that we saw in Episode 7 and wanted to see more of Episode 8.
Lens flares.
We didn't get that in 8. It was just 8 was completely... 8 had a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
A lot of politics.
I don't want to say politics.
Well,
no.
I mean, a lot of, just...
tactical, more... It was more plot heavy than this movie. This movie is definitely more character heavy, and... Yeah.
There was a lot more use of the Force. There's a lot more use of... Even though you had the Force Skype...
No, I think there's more Force use in 8.
If you take away the Force Skype, there isn't.
Okay. I guess like that is a really great Force moment. But besides that, in this movie, you have Rey kind of learning her abilities, and that's kind of like harkening back to the Force powers of the past, like the Jedi mind trick and stuff like that. So I don't know. I do like how they kind of evolve the Force in 8, but this is such like a reminder. It feels very much like the original trilogy, and I don't really get many moments in this movie where it's like, oh, that's a prequel. So he kind of really does ignore it, which I'm not sure if that was like their goal. We need to not mention the prequels whatsoever, because I don't think they give any like nods to the prequels whatsoever in this movie.
Right.
It's all original trilogy and new stuff.
Look at the bolt still.
Yeah, it's still there. And Finn is still freaking out.
That was really interesting that Kylo just like stared at him like, I know you didn't shoot there.
Yeah. Because he's already in tune with like everybody's where everybody's at their headspace,
and
it's
like,
interesting
that they changed stormtroopers to where they used to be clones.
This little alien is my favorite. Look at him. All right, go on.
We saw that alien in the originals, I think.
Did we?
At some point, yeah.
Huh. I believe that. He just peeks his head out.
I think in like Jabba's hut or ship.
Oh yeah, probably.
But yeah, it's shoot, what was I gonna say?
Sorry, I derailed it. Seeing the
stormtroopers being individuals instead of being clones.
Yeah, not only that, but they're taken from childhood, right? And they're trained. So this was the First Order was trying to rebuild itself from the Empire from the beginning of as soon as the fall of the Empire happened, which I think we're going to get maybe a little bit in the Mandalorian. I'm not sure, but maybe like little teases of maybe by the end of the entire series of the Mandalorian, we'll see the First Order kind of rise. But they were working on it as soon as the Empire fell, because like, you're not going to topple the entire Empire in that one day. Like you'll see the Battle of Jakku happened in between 6 and this, and like there's entire Star Destroyers crash in the sand. It's like a lot happened after Return of the Jedi. Right. The Emperor wasn't just like the Emperor and Vader weren't the only ones in the Empire. There were a lot of different battalions, a lot of different groups that were still there. And there we go. Yeah, right. I think I watched the first trailer for Force Awakens. The one where Finn popped up. I think that's the only one I watched.
Well, you watched Monday Night Football on too.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I watch 2 trailers? Okay. I started avoiding stuff after that because I didn't see any TV spots, because that's usually where you get like certain images, certain like visual things spoiled. Also, this movie does a great job at scale. This is really huge. Cool. I think Daisy Ridley's great in this movie. She wasn't in anything else before this. And maybe my second favorite John Williams theme is Rey's theme.
Really?
Yeah, I love Rey's theme.
I do too.
It's so good. Look at that thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Do you think we'll ever see the Battle of Jakku? Or wasn't that in a video game?
Yeah, that was in Battlefront.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe I'll watch like a cutscene or a video of it. I have the Lego of her little speeder. I think it's like right over here. Yeah, it's right over there. There's your staff.
So, when this movie came out, all of the theories about Plagueis, because of that staff.
Yeah.
Because Plagueis had a staff that looked exactly like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
hold on, wait, should I go get the tinfoil hat now or later?
So, the thing was that either she's, which makes sense now, because with JJ bringing back Palpatine, he is connected to Plagueis.
Yeah.
I really do think that JJ had ideas for that staff.
Mm-hmm.
He had ideas, because he said he originally had his idea, and his vision was Palpatine coming back at some point, whether it was an end of 8 or in 9, whatever. He envisioned him coming back.
Yeah.
So he put little, like, just signs of that in this movie. right? You would think.
He left little seeds. Like
he left seeds.
You can't deny that it had a close up of the staff, and it was like a shallow focus, only like the front of it.
The staff meant something to JJ.
There's several shots in this movie where it focuses on the staff more than it should.
Yeah. Why does
if it meant nothing more than it should?
Exactly. Why does she carry it around with her after she has the lightsaber too? It's like,
I mean, it's her weapon of choice. It's the thing that she uses the most.
Right. So that's why everyone thought she had something to do with Plagueis, or that Plagueis might be Snoke. Was the big one.
The Snoke theories.
So, like, that's why I think there's still a chance we're gonna get some. Small answer to what that staff is.
And if that staff has meaning, right? Yeah. I don't mind it not being an 8 because that's not what 8 was about. If the staff has something to do with Plagueis or with Palpatine or something with Rey's abilities moving forward past the lightsaber, like if she, because I know you were thinking that her lightsaber would be the staff or something like that, or everybody's been saying she should have a double-sided lightsaber, like that's something she should have because obviously she uses the staff like you would use a double-sided lightsaber, but like. It has to... I don't mind 8 not having it because you're going to get back to it in 9. You don't need to carry every single thread meticulously throughout the entire trilogy.
That's why JJ can go back to it.
Exactly. Yeah. And it won't be like, oh, you're just picking this up and it's not...
Love that.
Yeah. Beautiful shot, by the way, of her staring out, reminiscent to, Luke and the twin sons. But, you can continue it without it seeming like 8 ignored it. It's like, she didn't have the staff, really. She was focusing on her skills with lightsaber and with the Force. Right. And that's why, 8 does stand alone as its own film, and it's, I think every single movie in this trilogy will stand alone as its own movie, along with working together as a trilogy, depending on how 9 lands. But I think it can work both ways.
Yeah. But I do think by the time we see 9, I think it will feel more like a sequel to this than 8.
Yeah, I'm just hoping... I said this also in the Last Jedi video. I won't go too much into it, but I'm hoping that Episode 9 does not ignore 8. That's something that I've always been hoping.
I don't think it'll ignore
I don't want 8 to feel like a sore thumb sticking out of the trilogy the entire, for all of eternity. That's going to be really crappy. It needs to feel like a cohesive trilogy. Even if they did or did not have a plan the entire time, it needs to at least feel that way. And if they ignore it, I'm fine if they go more to the feel of this movie. Because I think most people like this movie more than Last Jedi. But you can't ignore it. Right. And her little fixing the antenna throughout all the movies. There has to be an antenna thing in 9, right?
Probably.
Also, favorite droid.
Favorite droid? Mine will always be R2.
Yeah, I was going to say R2. Yours is probably R2.
Yeah, mine will always be R2.
I don't know. BB-8's pretty great.
BB-8 is amazing.
Yeah.
But you can't forget about 3PO either. So.
Yeah. 3PO is so funny in Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's so good.
I love how everyone tells him to shut up.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. Every second, from the very beginning, Han Solo just covers his mouth. It's the entire movie, that's a running joke. It's so good. BB-8's more active, though. R2 was a lot more active in the prequels, almost to a fault because he has, those jetpack things. Yeah. And then you think about on Endor, how R2's moving around on that planet so easily, always keeping up. It's that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Also, this is kind of cool, forced torture. That's a new idea.
Well, see that round thing right there? That's from episode 4. That's the same thing that Vader used on Leia.
Oh, yeah, the little floating... Mm-hmm. Yeah, that thing's cool. But, it's literally just, a ball that looks super complicated with, a normal human syringe on it.
Yeah.
I also remember the trailer cut this pretty well. They cut from here to, that planet being destroyed.
Yeah.
Or, no, it wasn't the planet being destroyed. It was the Starkiller base, shooting its laser and the trees, falling back.
Yep.
That was a cool cut.
That's a cool shot.
Yeah. I think J.J. Abrams, somebody said on a show that I was listening to that J.J. Abrams was an overrated director. I think he's a great director.
Yeah, I love the shots that he's come up with.
Yeah.
Well, especially with, Star Trek, too. I mean, even though he was a producer, right?
No, he directed the first two.
Okay, he did direct the first two. Yeah, I mean...
And did you hear they're making the fourth one, finally? Yep. Yeah, with Bad Robots still attached to it and everything. Chris Hemsworth, they're probably not going to do the Chris Pine, Chris Hemsworth thing anymore. I think that's probably officially dead, but we're getting another one. So, that's cool. No, they won't.
Never know.
No, they won't. I like looking at this movie in hindsight, knowing that some of these things, not that it doesn't matter, but that it is not what you expect. Because I do think like her not having like famous parents, it doesn't make it so it doesn't matter. It makes it so it makes her more important.
But she could still be connected to someone.
Yeah. Maybe. Also, Simon Pegg. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How in the world did he get in that suit and stand out there? I wonder if that's in studio or... That's probably in studio. It's probably not ridiculously hot, but it's still probably ridiculously hot in that suit. There's like instantly a bond between BB-8 and Rey. And here's another like duo that was just incredible. That I am salty that they didn't keep these two together for episode 8.
Yeah.
This movie's really fun. This entire sequence is just
these
fun.
two are fantastic together.
Yeah. This whole conversation, this entire like sequence here of them escaping this, so good. This he needs a pilot.
See, here's the thing that JJ did a really good job with Star Wars comedy, especially right here.
Uh-huh. It's more situational rather than like, oh, we're going for the joke.
So like all of that was good.
Yeah.
The thing that bothered me, I think, the most with episode 8 was the silly it was more of like
I get that complaint.
The comedy that you would see in like Marvel instead of what we've seen in Star Wars.
Yeah. It's like most of the humor that comes from Star Wars is either the situation that they're in or like character moments where they're just kind of being like Han Solo being Han Solo. Right. His character is inherently funny. Right. And the types of jokes, it works for the character. I can see how some of it doesn't work, but this movie works great.
Yeah. 8, it was just a little forced.
Also, that guy, he was in the Maze Runners movies, and he has a little tiny role in this movie. Remember him from Maze Runner? No? He was Newt, the main character's friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Wilhelm scream.
Yep.
I'm waiting for it to be in Mandalorian. I'm waiting for it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten it.
Yep.
Oh, that noise, hearing that in the theater that first time was incredible.
If you guys saw on my channel, I did a Star Wars short film, kind of. It's called The Stormtrooper, episode 3.9. And I used some TIE Fighter sounds, and I love that sound. How did they get that? It's such a good... So good. And you still see Skywalker Sound does the sound design for like 90% of movies. Yeah.
Yeah, we need more of them in 9.
Also, like, see, everybody loves the lightsaber fights. I love space battles and like stormtroopers.
Yeah.
There's not many stormtroopers in 8. You realize that? I keep on like mentioning 8, but there's really not many stormtroopers.
The thing with 8, there's not a lot of Star Warsy stuff.
Yeah, it's different.
It's very different. That's when I say it's a solid movie. It's just not a good Star Wars movie.
Still my least favorite argument, but continue.
But that's what I mean is that there's not a lot. There's no Star Wars humor. It's forced, right?
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of Star Wars moments. There's one. There's that one big one, right, in the throne room.
Yeah.
And other than that, I mean...
I still think there's a lot of, like, the Force. Everything with the Force, I think, is great. And I think that's very...
Yeah.
It goes back to, like, the mystical aspects of the Force. And that's very Star Wars-y to me.
But, I mean, this whole movie feels like Star Wars. Yeah. That's my point.
Because it is Star Wars. A New Hope.
Well, true. But, like, with 8, it was just, like, there's moments.
Yeah.
But... it doesn't flow like a Star Wars movie would normally feel like.
Plug our Last Jedi commentary. I really, really like The Last Jedi. You not so much. That was a great conversation we had. But like, I would agree. This movie feels a lot more Star Wars-y, and it's just, this is such a fun and entertaining movie. And it's just, it works so well introducing characters and setting things up. And it's a fun movie. And the characters and the duos that they have in this movie are so good. Like that little argument that they just had and now plummeting to Jakku. And then everybody's favorite Phasma.
That was the biggest disappointment.
Yeah.
For sure. Of this movie.
Yeah.
And
is everybody like, oh, Phasma's going to be such a great character. Phasma has a great deleted scene from 8 that I wish they kept in the movie. But still, I like Phasma better than Boba Fett. People can fight me on that. Boba Fett does absolutely nothing.
Boba Fett doesn't do anything.
Absolutely nothing. At least, Phasma has that deleted scene.
See, so Poe was supposed to be dead at this point.
Yeah. Also, there's something like seeing like a stormtrooper slowly like get rid of his armor and become his own character that they do great in this movie. I love Finn's character in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like everybody thought, because the trailer started with him, right? The trailer started with him popping his head up.
Yeah.
So he was the character that we were following. We knew nothing about Rey going in. I wonder if there's like a Sarlacc underneath that. They're just buried in the sand. And it just blew up. This is a very well shot movie.
Yeah, you can see all of the parts.
Yeah. I wonder if they had like a moment where the stormtroopers are like following his trail. It's like, what happened to all this?
Yeah, pretty obvious.
Yeah. That would suck. I like how desert planets are always like the worst possible place to live in Star Wars, because it's so true. Also, it's kind of like, it's such a Star Wars-y thing, and so different from like something like Star Trek, where the entire planet's a desert, right? Mm-hmm. That is so ridiculously unrealistic.
Yeah.
And like, you have full ice planets, full lava planets, full city planets. Just a full forest planet. Or forest moon. Such like a Star Wars-y thing.
You know, this movie started the whole RGB lights in rooms. You see that? Mm-hmm. When they were walking through, I mean, it's red and blue lights. Yeah. And
it didn't start that. That's definitely like a what is it? Blade Runner had a lot of that.
Really?
Yeah, Blade Runner is all neon lights in like glowing in the background. It's all that. It's like such a modern noir thing.
Mm. This is hysterical.
This giant like creature. This movie has a lot of weird creatures in it. Just like when you were seeing Rey walking around, that one like robot droid looking thing. That thing was cool. You gotta persevere.
That's just...
Yeah, see, Rey was always a fighter. That's why when people say that Rey was like, what is it called, a Mary Sue? I don't... Like, she's just... I don't know.
I mean, this is
she's
the
been
perfect
fighting
example.
all her life, yeah. With the double-sided lightsaber, to be. Yep, and then this chase was so fun. This movie has a great pacing. It's always moving. It's like, oh, we have a character, they crash down on this planet, you meet Rey, they chase each other, and then the First Order comes, and they have to run to the Falcon. It just always moves.
Mm-hmm. Finn has no idea what's going on.
I would run.
Oh, jeez.
Brutal. Yep. There's what was it in in Return of the Jedi when R2 gets stood up by the Ewoks and he just shocks the Ewok? Yeah. It's a yes. That's so sad. Oh look, it's a boom mic in the shot. I wonder if it was. How great would that be? That'd be such a cheat. So we have a staff pointing at him, so let's just put the boom mic there. It could be. It honestly could be.
It very well could be.
So we need the best possible sound. We could go like 5 inches up, and no, we're gonna have it in the shot. We're gonna be gutsy here.
Poor BB-8.
Yeah. But he'll come back. They pulled a Marvel and brought a character back to life. See, I feel like Finn is more of a character that would make the mom joke in Last Jedi. It fits more with his character. Because I feel like if he said it, it wouldn't be as big of a thing. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's like even this humor is different from Star Wars. Maybe a little bit. I don't know.
See, so they started here where they thought Skywalker was a myth.
Yeah. And everybody being like, oh, how in the world does this entire galaxy not realize that Jedi exist? If you went up to somebody and said, oh, there's this group of people who believe in this religion that can move stuff with their minds and have mystical powers that go back millions of years, you wouldn't believe it until you saw it, right? And Han Solo was that exact type of character. He was kind of he wasn't really the everyman, but he was, a casual person in the galaxy just trying to, survive in this crazy world. And, like, of course the Empire would try to denounce the Jedi and say, oh, none of that was real.
Mm-hmm. They do it in the Clone Wars.
Do they do that in Clone Wars?
There's a scene where they take all the lightsabers at the temple and they destroy them.
Oh, okay.
Including Yoda's lightsaber.
Yeah. Oh, is that what? Okay. Oh, no, Yoda has it in Revenge of the Sith, though.
I know, it all takes place after 3.
Oh. You mean
Fall of the Jedi.
Fall of the Jedi? Wait, what are you talking about? Rebels or Clone Wars?
Oh, sorry, not Clone Wars.
Okay.
Rebels.
I was like, what in the world? So, okay, in Rebels, that makes a lot more sense. Rebels takes place...
Or maybe that was a comic. I remember seeing something about it.
When does Rebels take place?
Rebels takes place almost right before 4.
Okay.
Right before Rogue One. So it was in a comic, my bad.
Okay. Did I miss a quick shot where it's like panning past the Falcon and nobody noticed?
Yeah, this was incredible.
Yeah.
The whole crowd just went nuts.
Everybody freaked out. Like this moment's... Wait, right? The garbage will do it. Right there.
Everyone just started cheering.
Everybody lost their mind with the music and everything. That, and when you see R2, everybody lost their mind. When you saw C-3PO, everybody lost their mind. When you saw Han, everybody lost their mind.
Yeah.
And when you see Luke, finally, everybody just lost it. I like how messed up the Falcon looks at this point. It's so, like, used. That's why I love watching the Star Wars movies in chronological order in terms of timeline. Because you see, like, how the world just gets more beat up as it goes along. How the Empire really takes over with Solo and with Rogue One. And you just see the Falcon go from, like, shiny and new to Han getting it to this.
Yeah, Han really messed it up.
And, yeah. Not a scratch. Also, I feel like there's a thing in Star Wars where, like, people have that complaint with Han in Solo, like, oh, he gets in the Falcon and he's an expert at flying it. I feel like there's a universal, like, flying method in all ships, kind of like cars.
Yeah,
you kind of
probably.
just hop in it and be able to use it.
Right.
And you get used to it. To do that. Trailer shot. So good.
I love how BB-8's just rolling around.
And he like shoots at the things to destabilize.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. Like when ships are flipping around, like C-3PO's probably like, oh no, you see that in Empire, right? Like C-3PO falls into like the wires. Yeah. I love like this stuff in Star Wars. Like this one's not in space, but it's so
this
so
scene is so much fun.
Yeah. And Last Jedi when it's flying through like the red crystals, so cool.
Yeah, we didn't get enough Falcon in 8.
That's why like Solo had so many great Falcon moments that I'm okay with its existence in terms of that, and in terms of Lando.
It's like the Millennium Falcon's it's its own character.
I think, did I ask you this during the Last Jedi thing? Do you think the Falcon is going to die?
I better not. I'm gonna cry.
And yes, I said it's going to die because it's a full-on character.
To be fair, I think the last 3 years, or like whenever a big movie's coming out, for Christmas I usually get an ornament.
Yeah.
And usually that ornament
is Star
Wars. That person ends up dying in their next movie.
Yeah. No, that was funny. You got the Han Solo ornament before this movie, right?
No.
That was the old Han Solo. Yeah,
you
had it years ago. The tree fell over, and the only ornament that broke was Han Solo.
Yeah, right before this movie came out.
Yeah,
like,
it was
literally like that week.
Did he have a Snoke ornament?
No. But I had Iron Man. I bought Iron Man last year.
Yep.
So this year, guess what ornament I'm getting?
You're getting the Falcon?
Yep.
Oh no. Here, this was cool. Ingenuity. The gunner broke.
Yeah, this was awesome.
I was flying through the falling Star Destroyer. Yeah.
Like, that's how big that thing is.
Yeah.
You can fly the Millennium Falcon in it.
This is such like a Star Wars trench run, like Return
exactly.
of the Jedi.
The
flying
Falcon's
through the
the
Death Star.
best in a tight space.
Yeah.
Like that. It's always.
It doesn't look like it'd be. It really
right.
doesn't. It looks like, honestly, how the Falcon is designed, it looks like the most inconvenient ship to fly because the cockpit's all the way over here.
Right.
And the whole thing's on the side of it. You can't see to, like, the left of you. It looks like the worst possible ship. Which is a joke, but it's so good. Yeah, Falcon action. Also, watching Empire Strikes Back again, it was so good. Like, it had the exact same... Like, this takes directly from Empire. Of all of the Falcon moments, it takes directly from Empire. And let's get a breather. See, I wonder, do you have a problem with this joke when he asks if the boyfriend joke?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple in this one that doesn't land.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe he would get away with the mom joke. Because he has a couple moments like that.
BB-8's like, no.
Like, BB-8 has such like a connection with every single character he meets.
Yeah.
It's like instantly. Then now introduce yourselves. Makes sense.
At least they don't reintroduce themselves in 8.
Yeah. The Falcon's always falling apart. That's another great thing about Empire. Them just constantly trying to fix the light speed. Oh, this poor guy. Vader would have killed him.
Yeah.
Look how terrified he looks. And the music. Yeah. Any worse news than that, he would be a goner. One more thing on top of all of that, so you're done. Oh no, there is one more thing. Do you think he dies? Because it cuts away, right?
I think it cuts away.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, he died. He's dead.
Also, another funny thing with this whole BB-8 and Finn thing, the first time I saw the thumbs up, I thought BB-8 was flipping him off. I really did. I thought that for the longest time. And somebody sent thumbs up, I was like, that'd probably make more sense. But which way is funnier? I don't know. Yep. I do this. Purely for comedic effect. So you can work either way, right? Say, oh, you made me do that. Are they going to go back to Jakku? I know there's. I saw one shot that I used it for my thumbnail. I'm pretty sure that was a desert planet. Did the Tatooine or Jakku?
You know how many desert planets we've seen at this point?
Could be a different desert planet. Who knows?
It better be a desert planet that we already know.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of seeing these
brand new planets. Like
yeah,
only going to new planets.
I want to see some old, like what Endgame did, going back to like.
That's
I kind of hope
what,
that 9 does that.
I'm pretty sure it'll do that. I like how Han goes from the Millennium Falcon to whatever this like giant cargo ship is. Every time he like gets in the pilot seat, he's like, "Oh, this sucks." He definitely doesn't need to be like standing on the chair to see that. I like their little plan here. And then it fails.
That's just like a nice callback to 5. Those...
Yeah. Yeah. I like how every time somebody like captures a Falcon, right? Whether it's the Empire or like the First Order, whenever they check the ship, they never check that bottom area where people hide. Yeah. So wouldn't they know by this point that, you know, there's something there?
Well, Han and Chewie do.
Yeah, Han and Chewie do, yeah. But like nobody else does. They always get away with it. Yeah, I do think I saw the Chewie We're Home trailer. Yeah. Yep. Harrison Ford is great in this movie. He's great in this and Blade Runner 2049. He's so good in 2049. That's probably the best performance he's had in years, even over this. He's still very much Han Solo. I want to see that. That's the Solo movie you should have gotten.
Probably, yeah.
Yep.
I like how he says that.
Yeah. It's so true. Yeah, he's like, how did that get up to 14 when I've been rounding it down for years? There we go. There is a lot of changes. There's like new lights and everything in there. I love when she fixes that thing and she's like, I did this, and he just stares at her. Yeah, I like how they took everything. Like the First Order probably did that. They made everything like legends. Like that's kind of what the Empire and First Order does. Yeah, and the "it's true, all of it" line. It was all true. It was just buried in all the like the politics and the Empire and the First Order. Oh, you don't get it here.
No,
the stupid Rathtars.
Yeah, this is the worst part of the movie.
Yeah. This was like, because
but you do get to see what Han's been up to.
Yeah. And I kind of like the idea that, you know, he was running a crew of people to capture those Rathtars.
Right.
And he was probably selfish enough to let them all die, and he got away with Chewie.
Yeah.
And this also gives us the Conja Club. It's so good. Yep. And they all died, sadly. right there. Perfect timing, Rathar. The Harrison Ford point has become like such a that's what he does in every movie. You at least get one of those moments. And there's Mark Ellis. Did you watch his stand-up special?
No.
No? It's so good. Dog Stepfather. And I'll give Mark Ellis a shout out, not that he needs it. Like how this, in such a small circle that watch like the Schmoes and Collider, they all have that inner joke of the Conja Club thing. Nobody else does. Nobody else cares about this. I tell that to Conja Club. These different like groups, all after Han, of course. There's one shot in this part that always makes me laugh. I'll point it out when it happens. It's so over the top, but it works. It's so funny. And this is very much Han Solo. He does a great job. Oh. Yeah, so it's coming up here. They have a decent plan, right? To shut the doors, block them off.
Mm-hmm.
They have a decent plan. But it releases all these CGI monsters. Oh boy. Right here. It makes me laugh every time. It's like slowly zoom in, look over to the side, wrong fusers. It's so over the top. Yep. Look at these things like rolling around. What are they doing? Yep. See, Han shoots first and throws first. Maybe this is kind of like a prequel-y moment, because there's like a burp joke there.
Mm.
But then again, that's also in Return of the Jedi. There's a burp joke in that. I don't know. Yeah. This is like... It kind of halts everything that's happening. Kind of slows it down.
Yeah.
That sound was cool. That little like whip sound.
Why didn't it eat Finn right away?
I don't know. It was saving it for later. Finn was a dessert. It was full after eating like 4 people. Also, this is pretty lucky. Ready? What if there was a delay on the camera?
Yeah, and you just cut Finn in half.
Also, you realize every single Star Wars movie, except for The Last Jedi, has like some sort of tentacle monster. After in like these new ones, there's Rathars. Rogue One has that awful scene with Bogalik, that weird tentacle creature. Solo has that giant monster in Kessel. I don't think Last Jedi has one. Good on Rian Johnson. Poor Chewie. I like this music though. Music's always good. See, every moment between characters, even Finn and Chewie here,
Yeah.
They all have their like little moments together. It was cool going to Galaxy's Edge and flying the Falcon.
I don't ask questions after done it.
Oh, so this is brutal.
Oh,
there it is. Yeah, little training ball. I think I saw that in a picture for the Rise of Skywalker, or maybe that was something else. I saw Rey and then that thing floating next to her. Am I right on that or no? Or is that like a fan made thing that I saw?
No,
and I just freaked out. No. I thought I saw her training with that thing, and I was like, I'm upset. Chances of this guy ever coming back? Probably no chance. Hey, look, it's the Death Star 3.0. Have we seen that yet, or is this the first time we see it?
First time, because now we're seeing Snoke for the first time.
Okay. I was really nervous about him being that big.
I was about to make a joke about that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't once think he was gonna be that big. I don't know why people thought he was gonna be that big.
Yeah. Yeah, and at this point, Hux is not the butt of a joke. He's still kind of serious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really did not like Hux in episode 8.
Yeah.
He was awful.
There are a few really funny moments though. And he has one good moment where he pulls out the blaster.
Yeah.
But that was really it. Also, Andy Serkis. Did you hear they're doing another Planet of the Apes movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the director of the Maze Runner trilogy. I like it. This is the second time Maze Runner has come up in this video. That's weird. But yeah, the Maze Runner trilogy director is directing a new Planet of the Apes movie. And we don't know if it's a reboot or if it's continuing. But I really hope it's continuing. Because it's only been 2 years. Oh. Oh. That line was a little much. It's like, we get it.
Yeah. This was a
we
surprising
we
moment.
could have put the dots together there.
This was a surprising moment for me, though, because of how early they were like, all right, let's just tell people.
Yeah. I'm glad it was earlier.
Yeah, me too.
That it wasn't like some like, oh, that was a twist of the movie that happens at the end. That'd been like, oh, okay. Because if you found out on the bridge and he yelled "son" at
That's
that
what
point.
I was thinking. I was thinking that they were gonna meet at the end of the movie. Type of thing. But you needed that moment to get the Han and Leia moment.
Yeah,
so
definitely. Poor BB-8. Run away! How many droids have run away from Chewie? Like little mouse droids. Right here. I love this moment. And then, yeah. He just doesn't really... Like, not that he doesn't care, but I think that started all those theories, like, oh, there's something, Han knows something about Rey. I think it's just he's impressed.
Yeah.
That's literally all that it was. People look too much into that. Fan service. I can see JJ like, oh, I got my hands on Star Wars. Let's just have fun with it.
Alright, well, this is that moment.
Yeah. The map to Luke. Also, I've always wondered, like, the Jedi Temple had, like, a scan of the galaxy, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a chunk of that, right?
Yeah.
Can't you, like, use them to figure out where that was? Because this is the part where it shows where they are, right? They had... The part that the resistance had was everything but the location, right?
Right.
So whoever had this could have found Luke the entire time. I guess nobody really had it. That was the thing that was hidden away, right?
Yeah.
Or is this the part that's missing the gap? Actually, no. This is the part that's...
I think this is just a gap in the middle.
Yeah. This is the piece that was missing. R2 has the rest of the map, right?
Yeah, and R2 won't wake up, which was also weird because
why? This is where the whole Han Solo arc like really like lands with people. It's like from the moment you see him, he doesn't believe in any of the Force. You know, he's discounting it every time that Ben was trying to train Luke and say, "Oh, it's all luck, kid." Yeah, it's all true. Such a great moment.
Because here's the thing: when I was talking about how a lot of things that JJ set up, Ryan took it and said, "No, we're not going that direction." I think when Ryan saw all the reactions and all the theories came out after this movie, Ryan was like, "Nah, screw them."
He was writing the film before.
I know, but it just felt like that's
I can see how it felt like that. But
that's what it felt like when we saw 8. But going towards that, like the stuff with R2, right? It was set up to where, or at least the thought was R2 wasn't awake or whatever until they found the map. But what woke him up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so people thought maybe Luke woke him up.
But no, he was out of tune on the Force.
Right. So like that's a weird plot hole that they didn't follow through.
Yeah. How does he wake up? Does he just wake up?
He just wakes up and people just thought, well, Luke woke him up. Because Luke knew that they needed help or something. Or I don't know, for whatever reason, he woke him up. So like
all the things that Rian Johnson did.
You could tell there was a disconnect between JJ and Ryan just from that moment alone.
I don't think that one is that bad compared to like the other ones that people have issues with.
There's more things that there's a disconnect, but that's like actual plot hole.
Yeah.
Whereas other things you can say, well, they just went in a different direction, even though JJ set it up, he took it in a different direction, which is fine. But that wasn't necessarily taken in a different direction. That was just like, well, even though it was set up like this, we're just going to do something completely different.
Maybe it's a thing where...
It was almost like a retcon.
Maybe it was a thing that Luke did. Maybe this is a stretch to say, but if the two pieces are close to each other, that's when it reboots. Because Luke made a map.
That's what it has to be.
Luke made a map, right? He was the one who made a map because he's the only one who knew where he was, right? Yeah. So Luke Skywalker made a map to himself.
But
he gave a piece to R2. He stripped off another one if somebody desperately needs me. Because he gave it to pieces of the Resistance, so only the Resistance could get it, right?
Yeah.
If Leia needed him, which Leia is looking for in the entire movie, Leia will put the pieces together, and R2 will boot back up. Oh. Maybe that's a stretch. But once the pieces came together, that's when it turned on. So, I don't know.
But they had been together a lot longer, though.
They had been there for a little bit, yeah.
And when we get to that moment, I'm going to point out another thing.
Okay. Also, I missed... There's a scene where she first walks out of the ship where she's just blinking like 1,000 times. It drives me insane every time.
She's never seen so much green.
Yeah. Does that mean you blink 30 times? Like, oh, maybe if I blink fast enough, it'll not be here anymore. That looks like something from... Oh, gosh, what is that movie? The animated one. Meet the Robinsons. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
It looks something like from Meet the Robinsons.
See, Maz was solid in this movie.
Yeah.
The stuff that they did with Maz in 8 was terrible.
I still say Lupita Nyong'o is one of the best actresses working today. Like in Us and Little Monsters and a bunch of other things. She is so good. Even giving her this character is kind of a disservice to how great she is.
Yeah, because...
the character itself is solid in this movie.
Yeah. They tried to do something with the cantina, and I mean, it's fine. It's not as bad as what 6 is with the whole, you know.
Yeah, with Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
In the despecialized edition, it's a lot better. I hate the special edition. That entire scene in Jabba's palace is ruined by the special edition. Yeah. I wonder if she's in 9, right? Maybe.
I have you guys no idea.
Seen? Yeah. That'd be a shame if she wasn't. She's got to do something with that character. Not that character was like super important to the plot itself, but like they do set up the where did they get Luke's lightsaber thing.
Mm-hmm. I like how you got spies from the Resistance.
Yeah,
and the First Order.
Yeah, I keep on trying to say Empire, the First Order. Yeah. That brings like the whole battle to both of them. That entire sequence is great. I don't know. Star Destroyers might be my favorite ship besides the Falcon. I love the Star Destroyers. They're so cool.
I love the X-Wings.
Yeah. Also, watching Return of the Jedi again, the burning of Vader. So where did you get that? He probably went on like a mission going back to...
I'm sure Luke had it. I bet Luke kept it.
Why, though? It's like, if Luke kept it, right, and told the story of how Vader was redeemed in the end, he would have probably told Kylo Ren, right?
Yeah, I'm sure Kylo does know that he was redeemed. It's just...
I always thought of it as Kylo doesn't know he's redeemed. All he knows is what the First Order and what the old Imperials told him.
But why would Luke not tell him? That's stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like...
I don't know. Where's Maz been the past 800 years? He's been running this little cantina. Huh. See, yeah, they have a whole history.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that should have been the Solo movie. After Return of the Jedi. Could have got Harrison Ford back. Keep him in the role. Show how he loses the Falcon by the end of it. Maz is in it, has a big role.
Yeah.
Some adventure after Ben.
But everyone wanted to see the Kessel Run.
Yeah.
So.
Nobody was clamoring for to see the
as
Kessel
far as like that.
The writers wanted to see the Kessel Run.
That was the like.
Although I loved the Kessel Run in Solo. That's easily the best part of the movie. See, another thing that irritates me about people complaining about The Last Jedi is like, oh, we didn't find out how Luke like got the lightsaber or how Maz got the lightsaber, right? There's still another movie. The trilogy's not over.
Something
that's not a complaint. There are so many complaints about The Last Jedi that like things that this movie sets up that doesn't need to be answered immediately. It's like you have 3 movies. You have 6 hours to do all these things.
The problem was none of it was really answered.
A lot of it was answered. The Snoke thing was definitely a plot device to get Kylo Ren to be the villain of the trilogy. That's what Snoke was. I think that's what Snoke always was, honestly.
Yeah,
if they
but
plan to
we
bring
still
Palpatine
didn't.
Back.
But that's the thing is like, you still didn't figure out who Snoke was or where he was from.
That's the thing that the fans... This didn't set up, who's Snoke? This didn't really set up. The fans kind of started that whole narrative.
Well, yeah, but like, how did he come into power? Like, that's the thing is like, there was a lot of questions, and I wouldn't say even half of them were answered. Not even probably a fourth of them were answered. Really, I mean, and they kind of half-ass answered Rey's, where she was from too.
I don't think they.
That's what it felt like.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think they half-assed the answer. They gave an answer. I do think there's more to it.
Yeah.
Oh, so, yeah, there's more to it. Another thing. Once the Rise of Skywalker comes out and they answer more stuff to it, I think it's gonna feel more cohesive.
We know now that we can assume now that they're gonna answer more to it, right? What I'm saying is at that time, that was the answer.
Here's the thing.
Like Ryan, they all said. And even she said you're gonna find out in episode 8 before the movie came out. So we were all expecting a.
She says you're gonna find out who her parents were. You found that out. They were nobody.
Right, but everyone
did not answer where she came from. I do think that the whole clone mirror thing is when you mentioned that when we do the Last Jedi commentary, we were talking about that scene where she sees all the versions of herself. That is something that they can continue on and was set up for the Rise of Skywalker. I think it's exactly the same as in Empire Strikes Back when you find out Vader is Luke's father. That's all you find out. All you know is that. It doesn't explain any of that. It just says, okay, Darth Vader is now Luke's father. Out of nowhere. It just says that is the case now. That is a fact.
What I'm saying is the expectations were hired so that we didn't get a definitive. We really didn't get a definitive answer. It was because in that moment you're like, well, is he lying?
Yeah.
Is Kylo lying?
I thought it was very definitive. I think fans more so, maybe he's lying because they were so desperate for her to be someone. I think that's the problem. Is fans were so desperate for her to have some deeper meaning behind her being so powerful in the Force. That kind of started the narrative that she's going to be something special. It's exactly like Empire Strikes Back when it came out, when people had that issue. It was explored later in later movies. That reveal in The Last Jedi is the Luke, I am your father of this trilogy. I think that is the thing that is the most important.
But we're going to get this whole scene. And
also, did you ever think, because Yoda says you can see the future and the past, right? Do you ever think part of this thing is the future? When you see the Knights of Ren? I think that's the future. No, I think 100% that that's the future.
Honestly, the Knights of Ren is the new Boba Fett.
Ready? I was going to send you this. We got popcorn tins at the theater. Which by the time I upload this, it will be out. So, look at it. I kept the bag on it. But yeah, they're going to be in the movie. They're going to be in the movie prominently.
Yeah, probably like a flashback.
JJ's saving. No, JJ's saving. I guarantee you that shot in the rain is in
that would be cool. But, okay, so here's the thing.
Future and past.
So much was set up. Like, with Rey being somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
I think you answered half of it in The Last Jedi and half of it in The Rise of Skywalker.
What I'm saying, though, is what JJ set up gave the fans and everyone just a thought of like, okay, she's connected to somebody. Yeah. Because that's what this movie tells you.
Yeah, hold on. I want to pick apart the scene because I want to think of looking in a perspective because I just watched, Empire Return of the Jedi, and Yoda specifically says when Luke sees, his visions, he's seeing things. This is exactly what this is, right? We get to actually see from Rey's perspective what we're seeing. You see visions from the past and the future. And so I think a lot of this is a bit of both.
Okay.
There's a bit of her past and a bit of her future.
Right.
I guarantee that Knights of Ren shot is in the future. So you see, it starts off immediately in the past. You're in.
Well, where is this?
This is Cloud City.
Okay.
Where Luke is fighting Vader.
Okay.
So you see that, and then boom. Now you're in. I think you're in the past still. You see Luke.
Right. Where
that's
the temple
after
was destroyed.
That's after
we
the temple
got that
destroyed.
answered.
This right here. It could go either way. I don't know. I think that might be the future. Because if that's assuming that this is Kylo Ren destroying the Jedi Temple, right? He didn't have that suit. He didn't have his helmet. He didn't have any of that yet.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you have this stuff is now back to the past. Obviously,
see,
when
who
Rey
was
that? They sold him for junk, and this is the future, right?
Yeah.
It goes past, future, past, future. I'm telling you. That shot is going to be in
could be.
But the only difference will be there will be cracks on the helmet like you see in the poster because that's all I've seen. I guarantee you that's the past and future. I don't know. I'm saying it now. JJ is going to take that and he's going to use the Knights of Ren in a really cool way. That's going to be his army. Instead of the Praetorian Guard, it's going to be those guys. They're on the popcorn bucket, Brandon.
So here, going back to that whole thing and this moment right here.
Yeah.
JJ's telling you, at least to what we thought when we saw this movie, okay? JJ was telling you that she is somebody.
No, hold on, listen to this. They're never coming back.
Right.
And she tells him she tells her to look to the future and not to the past.
Right.
And she goes running back to the past and she was wrong. She failed that test exactly how Luke failed the test to Yoda. That's how I see it. I see this entire conversation is...
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is throughout this... After we've seen 8, take 8 out of it. Yeah, pretend you're seeing this for the first time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It asks a bunch of questions. It doesn't answer all of them. And some of them that they answer is not the answer that people were wanting. And I think that's where the disconnect happens. Rian Johnson tried so hard to subvert expectations and to change things. I get that. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, and so it's like... Ryan didn't want the movie to be predictable, right?
Yeah.
And he really didn't...
This is not going to go how you think.
He really didn't want fan service either.
Yeah.
It was almost like he was like, okay, there was a lot of fan service in 7. We're not going to do any of that, and we're not going to necessarily give what everyone wants. that was pretty much his thought process.
Yeah.
But
he overcorrected.
But unfortunately, it was too much.
Yeah.
There's things where you can be, because JJ said he's not going to be safe with episode 9, which is a good thing.
Thank God.
Right? But at the same time, you still want moments of, you want to give fans what maybe they, not necessarily because fan service to me is like showing little moments of the past, like the ball, right? Yeah. Or the game board,
yeah,
or any of those. That's fan service. What I'm saying with making it so that, look, this is called the Skywalker saga, right? So the reason why people want Rey to be connected in some way is because
it needs to be part of the Skywalker.
It needs to be part of the Skywalker saga, and that's what makes sense. She doesn't have to be a Skywalker.
She just needs to be tied. She needs to
be tied to it.
Yeah.
So everyone wanted that to be answered in 8, because when you think about it, if it's not answered in 8, well then they're gonna have a whole lot to figure out in 9.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately is the case, because 9 they're gonna have to, is why 9 is so long. Or is the longest Star Wars, or not quite. I think it's like
no, it is the longest by like 4 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a reason, because they have to fit so much into it, because
I still think they have a whole lot less to answer because of Last Jedi. I think Last Jedi answers a lot of questions. You just need to dig deeper into those answers that we got.
Yeah, but then Last Jedi also brings up some more questions, right? So it's like, it's just, there was 8 didn't fill in what you needed, what people wanted it to fill in.
I do think
it kind of just gave you a whole nother story, and it kind of just took the story that JJ set up and was like, okay, no, we're going this direction instead. It didn't follow through.
The good thing about JJ coming back is that he can kind of steer what Rian Johnson did to what he was initially thinking.
Exactly, yeah.
In a way that doesn't, like, also, JJ just unceremoniously killing 35 billion people.
Yeah.
That's just happening right now. But, like, you have a chance to take what you learned in The Last Jedi and go deeper into it and really hone in on those answers and answer stuff that we haven't had answered yet. Make all the pieces fit together, therefore making The Last Jedi, when you watch it again after The Rise of Skywalker, have completely different meanings. Yeah. So that is the benefit of JJ coming back.
Right. So, if Colin Trevorrow was still doing this movie, Colin came out and said terrified. He did not have Palpatine in 9 in his script. That? Yep.
I know he said that he is getting story by credit though.
Yeah. But like that's the thing is, and that's the scary thing, that JJ coming back is really gonna fix a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because if it was Colin Trevorrow, this would not be going well.
Yeah.
And you could tell just by what he said there, of he wasn't going to have Palpatine in his story. You're like, okay.
That's probably why they cut out the opening shot of this movie. We haven't even talked about this. The opening shot of this movie was supposed to be Luke's hand floating, holding the lightsaber in space. And
Colin and Ryan probably didn't want it.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to go a different direction. JJ had it set up to go one direction. Those two had it different.
Yeah.
And there was a massive disconnect between the 3 directors.
Yeah.
I think Ryan and Colin were a little bit more on their own path.
I think what was...
And JJ was on a different path, and unfortunately for Ryan and Colin, JJ's path is what the fans wanted.
Here's the thing, though.
Most of the fans.
I still refuse to believe that... I still refuse to believe that they had no plan whatsoever. I do think they had, kind of like Game of Thrones, the most recent season.
I think JJ had a plan.
No, okay, here's what I'm going to say.
Because
I think they had ideas. I think they had ideas of where characters were going to end up, right? They knew how we want this trilogy to end. We know we want to take out Han in the first one, Luke in the second one, and then Leia maybe in the third one, right? They had a plan of what they were going to do with the characters, and the path to get there was not necessarily planned. They had a beginning point and an end point.
But my argument is...
It changed 3 times throughout changing the directors. That's what happened. The path getting there changed several times. That was the problem.
Because the original idea was for Palpatine to be in 9. Then Ryan and Colin decided, no, we don't want Palpatine, essentially.
Yeah.
And
we'll still get to that point where Kathleen Kennedy wants. We'll still get there eventually, but we're going to go this way instead.
Palpatine.
Yeah. There's a fork in the road. We went the wrong way. Not the wrong way. We went a different way than what JJ was expecting them to do.
And what the fans wanted.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and that's the point is, what I'm saying is, the reason why Ryan and Colin, I think, were wrong is because with a franchise this big and a franchise that means so much to people, you do want to give them what they want. Even though it may be predictable, that's not the point.
Yeah.
That's not the point of, I predicted this whole damn movie.
Yeah.
We predicted Endgame.
I nailed Endgame.
Right.
I nailed the hammer on
But
that.
did it make
No, I nailed Infinity War.
But because...
I was close with... And we were close with
We
Endgame.
were close with Endgame.
Yeah.
Did that make Endgame any worse?
No.
Did that make this movie any worse?
No.
No. That's what I'm saying is...
Yeah.
It maybe to people who don't care about the Star Wars and saw this as an individual film...
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this was just like 4 because they don't care as much about it. They're not a Star Wars fan, right? And so, unfortunately, I think there's a difference between the fandom of JJ and the fandom of Ryan and Colin.
Yeah.
They were Star Wars fans, but they weren't diehard Star Wars fans like JJ was.
Yeah.
And you saw exactly the difference between those two movies. And so when I say, look what the Russo brothers did. They were massive fans of the Marvel Universe, right? So they gave fans, those fans, which is the majority of the Marvel fans, right, are people who wanted that almost... Yeah. You want to call it fan service, but it's... Even though it's predictable, even though we predicted most of the movie, we still loved it more than we even thought we would. Because... It's exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, I think the difference between the MCU and this is, I'll connect it to Game of Thrones once again. The last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones had no books to go off of. Same thing with Fantastic Beasts. Right. With J.K. Rowling. She's just writing the script, so you're missing the entire bones and the structure because it's not based off of a pre-existing thing, a pre-existing book that you can build off of, right? Same thing with MCU and Star Wars. The MCU has a history of all these comics that kind of go through the storylines. They pick and chose what they wanted, and they force it to fit into the universe that they set up thus far. Star Wars has none of that. They had nothing past the point as soon as Disney deleted everything. As soon as Disney retconned all the comics.
No, but there's a whole ton of comics. You can still take those stuff. You can still use some of that.
You could
a lot
still
of it's
use
bad, but some of it's really good.
Yeah, and I think they did. They
did with Kylo. Yeah. Yeah.
And there is precedence for some of the Force powers used in some of the books.
Here's the thing.
Comics.
In the comic, The Legends, Han and Leia have 2 kids. And they end up being twins, and it's a brother and a sister. I believe. Or maybe they had 3 kids. I can't remember.
I think it was 2.
But what people were thinking after they saw this movie, because Kylo was pretty much... that part of it, right? Where they thought Rey was the other, and we just didn't get that answered.
Yeah.
Which, who knows? Maybe JJ was... If JJ were to have directed all 3, who knows?
I do wish JJ directed all 3.
At this point, maybe Rey is Kylo's brother, or Kylo's sister. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what JJ was kind of
That shot's so good. All right, continue.
But, like, that's the thing is... Yeah. There was a massive disconnect between the directors. I agree
with everything you just said. I do think, though, the benefit of J.J. Abrams coming back is you can really make The Last Jedi fit perfectly and make it seem like it'll be the illusion that it was all planned. I do agree, maybe not everything was planned. I think there are bits and pieces like Game of Thrones. There were certain things that J.R. Martin, right? That's his name? Yeah. He said, okay, I want you guys to hit these beats. Everything in between, though, the path to get there... was changed several times. Yeah, so I do think they can course correct in a way to make The Last Jedi fit and improve upon it exactly how Empire was improved upon after Return of the Jedi.
I love this scene.
This scene is incredible.
Awesome. But yeah, I mean,
there's another cool use of the Force here.
Yeah,
there is quite a bit of Force use in there. Yeah.
One thing, the best thing that Kathleen Kennedy has done is bring JJ back. Yeah. I mean, it was a must.
I do think
if it was Colin, I would be a whole lot more nervous.
I do think the best...
I'm still nervous for 9. But if it was Colin, I would be severely concerned. This whole battle is awesome.
Yeah. I do think the best trilogies are definitely the ones that have a consistent vision from the same director.
Which the originals, George
Lord
Lucas.
of the Rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
He didn't direct all of them, but he was the one behind it all.
He was the creative head for it, yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely. But like if you think about it, Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson directed all 3 of them. You have Back to the Future. Harry Potter was not all the same director. The last 5 movies was the same director.
I'm not talking about director, but I'm talking about the creative
I'm
head
talking about director.
Okay.
So Edgar Wright, my favorite trilogy of all time is the Cornetto trilogy, which is Edgar Wright. They're not connected per se, but they all have that same feel. Yeah. Back to the Future 2 with Robert Zemeckis. Yeah. All 3 of them was directed by Robert Zemeckis. Yeah. Has the same vision throughout. What about Planet of the Apes? Planet of the Apes, no, Matt Reeves directed the last 2.
Okay.
But that still worked out very well.
It still works out.
2 out of the 3. Yeah. That worked pretty well. And
that's
plus,
why I
he was building off of the first one, and so the last 2... It's easier to do. Yeah, definitely. The original trilogy was directed by 3 different people. One that was George Lucas solely.
He yells Ray in every...
he does.
In both movies, in 7 and 8. It's hilarious.
Yeah, Irvin Kershner definitely had more to do with Empire than George Lucas. I do think that. And then George Lucas picked a director that he can more so... I don't want to say like bully and push around.
Control.
But somebody he can control more so in Return of the Jedi. Yeah. That's why that movie has a lot more George Lucasisms in that movie.
Yeah. This is an awesome moment.
This is a great moment. Also, this is like watching behind the scenes on how they got this shot is like literally, it's so cool. I'm like nerding out about like the technical aspect. Yeah, Carrie Fisher, so good.
I'm excited to see what they do.
I said because she passed away and it's very sad. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. She's so good in this movie. Yeah.
Totally ruins that moment, but it's hilarious and you love it.
I like how the red arm it's just for a joke for him to say, "Oh, I bet you won't recognize me with my red arm," and then it's fixed at the end.
Yeah.
Did you see Booksmart?
Yeah.
Billie Lourd, Carrie Fisher's daughter, is in Booksmart, and I think she's the best part of that movie. She is so funny in that movie, and she's in this movie and she's in The Last Jedi. Yep. I really hope she has a large role in Rise of Skywalker. I think JJ probably wrote her a bigger role, or maybe switch some characters around to give her a bigger role.
I'm excited to see what they do with Leia though in 9.
Yeah.
Just all the deleted scenes that they have. Because remember in the trailer for Episode 7, we see Leia holding Luke's lightsaber. Or Anakin's lightsaber.
In what?
In the trailer. For 7.
For this movie?
Yep.
You need to find that for me. Can you find it?
Yeah.
You pull that up.
It's a deleted thing that was in the trailer.
They can put that in Episode 9.
Yeah, exactly.
Easily. You just add the burn mark.
So JJ said that they took a ton of deleted scenes from Episode 7. Or just scenes that they didn't use with Leia. Because they had Leia in a lot more of this movie originally. And they decided not to. Yeah. And JJ was in an interview. He was like, "It's weird how that works. Yeah. It's weird how
I heard them use the word uncanny in terms of like how that old footage fits into this new story perfectly.
It's crazy how like it's almost like they knew. Yeah. Like JJ was like in the interview. He was like,
it's almost like Carrie knew.
It's almost like Carrie knew. Like let's film all this stuff and decide to not put it in. Because we may, it's just weird. Yeah. It's just weird how it works.
Didn't they say that in Colin Trevorrow's original Episode 9 that they had Leia wielding a lightsaber?
Yeah, she was gonna. It was her movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate that probably won't happen. Because that would be incredible.
I really hope we get to see them to go on their own adventure.
I just want the whole group to be together. That's like the good part about Return of the Jedi is everybody's together.
Rey's not there, right? So, does Poe and Rey ever meet in this movie?
No. Oh, no, wait. Poe and... No. They meet for the first time in Last Jedi.
Okay.
Because they introduce themselves.
Right, because
they hear of each other
not
a lot.
Here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they never meet. Because I think by the time Rey does come back here... She's like here and off. She's very briefly here.
Yeah, but you see Poe in that final...
Of waving her goodbye.
Yeah.
I don't think they necessarily... I think it's a thing where... Like, same thing with Finn and Rey in this movie. They go through this whole adventure, and then they say, "Hi, nice to meet you." Maybe they were in the same room. There's probably a lot of people that you work with that, like... There was somebody that I worked with for 2 months.
Yeah.
I never met...
It was just Well,
yeah, I never met them until 2 months later. I was like, "Hi, nice to meet you."
Right.
Finally, I've seen you a couple times.
When you see that in 8, though, it is jarring because you're like,
"Wait, what?"
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's true though. It's true. They never interact on or off screen. I do like the relationship between Han and Leia in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so the map is technically together here now.
My biggest disappointment of this whole trilogy so far, or at least the first 2 movies, not enough R2.
Yeah.
We need more R2.
So yeah, I guess the map is together here.
I would love
so why
to see,
didn't it boot up here?
I would love to see an R2 and BB-8 adventure. Because you can tell, like, BB-8 loves R2.
Yeah. Isn't the Resistance show with Poe Dameron and BB-8... that's before, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's before.
No idea.
I was going to say, maybe there's some in that. I did want to watch Clone Wars and Rebels before Episode 9, but I can't. I don't have the time. I haven't even started it yet, so there's no way at this point. Yeah, I can see. I really hope that Leia's in the new movie like quite a bit.
Yeah.
I really hope that they did find a lot of footage that they're able to use and maneuver around. So that'd be really cool. Because like with digital, with our technology now, you can probably like keep her performance, right? You could probably change
move everything around it.
Move everything around it. Change wardrobe.
Yep.
Even like you can change that too.
Yep.
Because like
that's what he said. That's what they did.
All of Avengers Endgame, all those time travel suits, they didn't make a single one of them. Do you know that? Not a single suit was built because they didn't know what they wanted it to look like yet. So all of it is digital, and you can't notice. Visual effects has gotten so good that stuff like that is, it's perfect at this point. Yeah, so Leia's been looking for Luke this whole time. That's why I was thinking maybe she's had part of the map, or R2's had part of the map. Part of the map was given away. I don't know. Maybe R2's in tune with the Force. Oh, and there's Miles from Lost. Whatever. Oh wait, isn't Charlie from Lost Dominic Monaghan in episode 9?
Yeah,
he is. Yeah.
We got to see him in the trailer.
Oh, he was in the trailer? That's cool.
In the background, we're all like, yay! Oh.
The best part of Lost. My favorite character. Also, I did mention people calling, or somebody on the show that I watched saying J.J. Abrams was not an underrated director. Lost. Are you kidding me? He directed the pilot of that. He directed Super 8, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Just people don't know
2 Star
about
Trek movies.
those,
Yeah.
That's.
He definitely does make more commercial movies, but all the movies he has directed, oh my god, he's a great producer too. His Bad Robot Company is one of my favorites. And then we have Adam Driver, great actor. Wait, never mind. Wait,
Archives of the Empire, so that's probably the library.
That's right. All right. Wait, so no, never mind. So they have part of the map.
Well,
so
I'm sure the Resistance has that part of that same
part of the map. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's what Luke did. Luke went back to the original Jedi Temple. He took the archives and he took a piece out of it.
Yeah.
That would make.
Because remember that they set that up in the prequels on only a Jedi can do that.
Yeah.
Because remember the missing planet in episode 2?
Yeah.
And they're like, only a Jedi can remove a planet. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what Luke did, essentially.
Yeah. Also, the island.
Which is kind of a cool little thing.
Yeah.
You got to really think about it.
Yeah, that's like a deep cut Star Wars thing.
I can't find it. It might have been in a... I remember seeing it. I'm going to have to search for it directly.
Sure it wasn't in a Rise of Skywalker trailer that you just spoiled for me?
No. Because it's that shot where you think it's Maz at first. Gosh, which one was it, though?
There's a lot of trailers.
There was. That's the hard... It was in one of them.
Mm-hmm. Watch it in 2 times speed. And just eat through them. Also, I love this. This movie does a great job at showing, like, through sound design, showing the Force. It's like all the sounds you hear here is like that's what the Force sounded like. Because this could have been very awkward. Them just staring at each other, right? You really do feel the Force in this moment. JJ does a great job with that. And also, Kylo did look into her mind, see the future. So I'm telling you, Jedi can see the future and the past. Exactly what happened in Empire Strikes Back when Luke saw Leia and Han in danger. You'll probably get nuggets from that flashback in Episode 9 because it wasn't a flashback; it's a flash forward. For J.J. Abrams, lost. I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of Lost in Star Wars. Also, you never find out anything about the Emperor in the original trilogy.
No, that's been brought up before too.
I really love the idea.
You just know that he's the big bad.
Yeah. You don't even mention the Emperor in the first movie, in Star Wars.
Oh, found it.
Found it? Alright, let's see this. Oh yeah, that's definitely her.
And Maz gives it to her.
Can you send that to me? Like a screenshot or something like that? Wait, Maz gives it to her?
Yeah, watch.
I will put this on the screen, maybe. It's time code. Ah.
Yep, that's Maz.
Yeah, Maz giving to...
and that's Leia. Look, and
yeah, that's definitely Leia.
And they're in their base that they're currently at right now.
Yeah.
So...
My lord.
That was in trailer number... That was in the Han We're Home, or the Chewie We're Home.
Really?
Trailer. Yep.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
April 16th, 2015.
Dang. Gotta delete a scene. Also, all right. Daniel Craig is the Stormtrooper, right? Yeah. So James Bond himself, the trailer for James Bond, if you want to know when we're recording this, the trailer for No Time to Die. Did you watch the trailer for that? No? It looks great. I haven't seen a single James Bond movie. It looks great. Daniel Craig, you haven't seen Knives Out yet, have you?
No.
Knives Out is probably my number 2 of the year.
Really?
I love Knives Out.
I still need to see Ford vs. Ferrari, though.
Yeah, that is in my top 15. I'm going to make a top 15 this year because I literally can't. I have 20 movies. I have to cut 5 out, and I don't want to.
Is Endgame still your number 1?
Endgame is my number 1. And then it goes, Endgame currently...
You know, that blows my mind that there was so high expectations for that movie, and it surpassed those expectations.
It really did.
Like, that's unreal.
That's why I think... Rise of Skywalker could surpass a lot of people's expectations.
Well, I think expectations are a bit low right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think it could surpass a lot.
People are nervous.
Yeah, but yeah, no, Daniel Craig.
I my one.
Daniel Craig in Knives Out is so unbelievably great. He is incredible in that movie. He has this southern accent. It's kind of over the top, but it works so well.
It's funny how you get kind of Anakin's rages with him. This is great.
And back away. That's so good. Lens flares, JJ.
I love the lens flares. I think they look so cool. I put
there's a little much in Star Trek 2009. There's a lot.
But if you look at some of my thumbnails, I always put lens flares. It looks good and Look
at him. He's going nuts. I'm telling you, JJ toned it down for this movie. Super 8, the lens flares in Super 8 make no sense at all, but it's so good. That guy was in something that J.J. Abrams did. I forgot what it is.
Yeah, I recognize him.
And then we have Miles from Lost, who is one of the most underrated characters of that show. He was really cool. Starkiller Base.
Han had all of our reactions.
Yeah.
Han is literally the audience.
Yeah. I wonder how in the world was Maz originally supposed to be in this base in this movie?
I don't know.
Was she supposed to get on the Falcon with
them? Because in the background of that shot, you could see the Let's see if they show it. Right, that thing in
those little
right
light things.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking maybe she hands it to him when they're still on that planet, but I guess no. She probably hopped on the resistance ship, went back to the base with them.
Yeah, because
she's
definitely
a resistance.
Her whole area got destroyed.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened to her? You know.
Admiral Akbar, here's your trap. So good. I love the resistance theme. It's so good. Yeah. Same thing with like another Return of the Jedi moment. It's like, oh, you're going on that dangerous mission. That's gonna be tough. All right, who's gonna go on Endor and actually turn down the shield? Oh, it's me. I forgot that guy's name. That guy's great. Is that the same guy from?
I think so.
Jedi, yeah.
Yeah, he was co-piloting with Lando.
With Lando, yeah. That's why, like, 'cause Lando's gonna be in this new movie. Yeah, when Lando gets his hands on the Falcon, it's gonna be such an earned moment because of Solo. I'm telling you, it's because of Solo. It's gonna feel so much more.
He flies in 6.
He does fly in 6, and that moment feels very earned because of Solo. But when he officially gets it back, that's like it's kind of like if Han is gonna give the Falcon to anybody, it would have been Lando. Yeah. That's why I think Lando's probably going to fly off with Chewie at the end of the movie.
I think that'd be cool, unless it gets destroyed.
Yeah. Unless they pull a thing like Star Trek. Remember the most recent Star Trek movie? The Enterprise was destroyed, and the end of the movie was a montage of it being put back together.
That'd be kind of cool. Have it newer, and shiny.
Back to how Lando likes it.
That'd be funny.
Leia's theme. That might be maybe my third favorite theme from Star Wars. No. My favorite's Yoda's theme. My second favorite is probably the Force theme. Rey is probably my third. And then Leia's is 4. I lost count. Was it 4 or 5?
The lighting in this ship is awesome. Or is this Star? Yeah,
this is Starkiller Base, yeah.
Right.
It really does harken back to that old feel of them sneaking around the Death Star. This is such a crazy idea. I love it. And it's like trees, or no, wall. The entire mountain. The asteroid theme, too, is pretty great from Empire.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites.
Also, another deleted scene from this movie is Kylo Ren going to the ship. That is a great moment. That's a very good deleted scene. I wouldn't mind if it was still in.
Yeah. This is a cool moment right here.
Again, very reminiscent of Vader when he...
Yeah. I love that.
Obi-Wan shows up. Because I haven't felt this presence since... It doesn't say since when. Obi-Wan show. That's why. This is all Last Jedi fans. Ready? Here in a second. Or not fans. People who don't like Last Jedi. That was Ryan Johnson. This is the fans. That's not how the Force works. So good. Harrison Ford just slipped right back into the role.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's like, oh, I got like a little close-up in a Star Wars movie.
Hey. I like how JJ kept stormtroopers as dumb as ever.
Yeah. These strike points are too accurate.
You can kind of tell with how funny and dumb Finn is sometimes. Like you're like, yeah, he was a stormtrooper.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That's so true. I love this. See, I think he could have gotten away with the mom joke.
Oh yeah. Probably.
He could have gotten away with it. Didn't they release like a 30-second clip? I heard Christian Harloff talking about it, how the humor was bad.
Yeah, I agree.
You agreed? Okay.
But
I haven't seen the clip.
But it's hard when you're taking that clip by itself.
Out of context, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm waiting, obviously, till...
It could be a very fun sequence, and it just keeps on having that fun tone.
Exactly.
And like if that tone continues throughout the entire scene, there was one movie I remember watching like a clip from or the trailers, and like this looks awful.
And that clip is going to be in the very first 5 minutes.
Really?
I guarantee you.
I can see that happening. I haven't seen the clip yet, so I have no idea what the actual context is.
I bet it's kind of like around the same time where the clip was from Endgame.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I bet it's like that.
Yeah.
Like that early.
All right. Remember when I was seeing Infinity War early, right? And you told me if this happens in the first 5 minutes, you have to tell me. It was if Loki dies. Yeah, if Loki dies in the first 5 minutes, you have to tell me.
I guarantee you that scene, that clip, that 30-second clip is probably within the first...
The opening scene, maybe.
No, because usually opening scene is...
Panning down from space.
Yeah, so like I would say like first 5 to 10 minutes, because it depends on how long they're in space. Yeah. Because some Star Wars movies, they start in space and then they go right to the planet. Yeah. Like in Episode 8.
Yeah, Attack of the Clones. It panned... Episode 8, they go to the planet immediately and then they go back up to space. Right. But in Attack of the Clones, it pans down from space, you see the planet, you see that silver ship going, and...
so it depends on how they use it. Because sometimes then they'll stay in space after the pan down, right? Yeah. And they'll stay in space for like 5 minutes. So like it just depends on... Yeah. But as far as...
Like the original Star Wars, that stays in space for a long time.
That 30-second clip will be in the first 5 minutes of... Oh, I can't say the character.
Of like a character's introduction, is that what you're trying to say? Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen... Are you talking about the character on the poster with like the horses? Are you talking about her?
No.
Oh, okay. No, I don't want to know.
No, she might be later. I don't know when they're gonna meet her.
This is definitely...
That's the thing. They've done a really good job with the Episode 9 trailers. I can't... Because, in Endgame, you can kind of pinpoint...
Where things are going to be.
Yeah. In this, I can't... Those two stormtroopers, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
From the deleted scene. But, yeah, you can't really pinpoint...
Where things take place. That's why I think the genius of J.J. Abrams.
Especially with the lightsaber stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're like, wait a minute. Like, would that happen early? It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
And so they have done a good job of showing.
Yeah. I do want to mention here, I do think the best Star Wars movies have a nice mixture, or a nice balance between, which balance of the Force, right? A balance between, like, fights in ships like this, fights with stormtroopers, and lightsaber battles, right? Last Jedi had 2 of those. They didn't really have the stormtrooper aspect of it, or like the on the ground shooting type thing. They had a lot of ship stuff.
So that's something
this movie does not have a big space battle. Last Jedi kind of has a space battle at the beginning. Rise of Skywalker has to have an epic space battle. Yeah, it's like we got that from Rogue One. Right. I want that from Rise of Skywalker.
Well, and that's how 4, 5, and 6 happened too.
Yeah.
So, but what I want to bring up. So, you know how by the end of a Star Wars movie, you have the 3, like you said, the 3 phases, right? You got the ground phase, the space battle, or the ships battle, and then you have the lightsaber battle, right? So this movie, we get all 3.
Yes.
Right?
You get a good balance of it.
Right, and usually for those Star Wars movies, the 3 separate scenes are only at the end. You really have 2 different storylines throughout the whole movie, right? You got, so like in this one, you had, basically you have Rey, and her stuff.
And it slowly merges together with Han, not with Han, with Poe, and his stuff.
So you're kind of following the one story, but then it splits into 2, right? With her being there by herself, and then the rest of the rebellion, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of have 2 paths going at that point, and then it splits into 3.
Yeah.
Right? That's literally how almost every Star Wars movie is, right?
Except for some of the...
Episode 8.
No, I think...
It's weird how Episode 8
is missing one of those.
No, Episode 8 has 3 throughout almost the whole movie.
Oh, 3 storylines throughout the entire movie?
And then the end only has 2.
Yeah.
He did it backwards. And I was thinking about this, actually, a couple of days ago, because I was thinking about... I don't know what made me think of it. I think I was trying to figure out what... I was watching one of the trailers for Episode 9, and I was trying to, figure that out. And then I was like, wait a minute. Episode 8 is weird. And maybe that's what,
The structure bothers you.
Yeah, because you know how I say it doesn't feel like a Star Wars movie. It's weird how it works because you have, in the beginning of the movie, you have obviously Rey with Luke, right? Then you have the Rebellion, right? And then the Rebellion splits up into two because then you have the Rebellion, you have Poe and Finn, or you have Finn and Rose, and then you have Rey.
Oh yeah, you already said Poe. Yeah.
And then not add a fourth one with the Kylo stuff.
Yeah.
And so there was just a lot. And then by the end of the movie, you've only got 2.
Yeah. Do you think it would work better for you once The Rise of Skywalker comes out and you're to watch all 3 of the movies back to back? By the end of this movie, you see it split into 2, and then you see it split again, and so it'll feel more cohesive watching them all back to back. Do you think that helped Last Jedi? Watching in sequence with all 3 movies?
Maybe, but it's still weird because there's so much happening. That's why if you just take out the Finn and Rose stuff and you keep them maybe with the Resistance and have them maybe get to that planet sooner.
Yeah. And
have that battle maybe be a little bit more, I think that would have worked better.
Yeah.
Because Finn and Rose going on their own path created essentially a 4th storyline, and it was just a lot.
I think the thing that all fans can agree with, for the most part, some people do like the Canto Bight sequence, but that's definitely easily the worst thing in Star Wars since the prequels.
Yeah.
That entire sequence, I think everybody can agree with, is bad. If that was cut down, and maybe Poe went on that mission, and maybe the Resistance part was cut down, one of those 2 lines were merged together, right? It would have made a more cohesive, less scattered movie. I 100%. Yeah. The pacing is the biggest problem in The Last Jedi. Yeah. But I do think if you watch them in sequence
and
all
it's
back
because
to back,
he changes how Star Wars movies work. And it's what he wanted to do. He wanted to change how Star Wars movies work.
I do think in some ways it works great, in some ways it does not.
Yeah, but to do that in an 8th movie of because think about the prequels too. They're the same way. By the end of it, there's 3 different scenes going on, but throughout the movie, there's about 2, and then that it splits into that 3rd one by the end of it.
Yeah.
And for most of them, they're like that. I think there's might be one other that's weird, and it's one of the prequels.
It might be Attack of the Clones. That's what I was trying to think. I feel like Attack of the Clones
it's Attack of the Clones that gets weird.
Yeah.
And ironically, it's the worst one out of the prequels. So,
Empire is a little bit the same way because everybody's on Cloud City. Literally everybody's on Cloud City. It only has 1.
For the end?
Yeah, for Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back is a little funky too. There's only 1 storyline by the end of Empire Strikes Back.
Well, but you still have Leia and Lando going off on their thing, and then you have Luke and Vader. So you only have 2 in that moment.
Yeah.
But
because like the beginning of the movie starts with 1, right? And then it splits to 2. And then it splits to...
but it never splits to 3 in the middle of the movie.
It never splits to 3. I think it's only 1 and 2.
That's my point.
Yeah, okay.
That's my point is... You had, for the majority of Episode 8, you had 3 storylines going on. Yeah. That's too much. For the final 30 minutes, that's fine because... that's how every Star Wars movie has ever been.
I will say this about The Last Jedi and with The Force Awakens. Last Jedi has higher highs than this movie. The Last Jedi also has lower lows in this movie. Yeah. So...
Because the highest high is one of my favorite scenes ever in Star Wars, and it's the throne room.
And there's a lot... I think there's a lot of high moments in The Last Jedi. I think the Holdo's brave moment is one of the highest highs. I think really the entire 40 minutes
of it, it's the feel and look of that moment.
I do think the last act of that movie is incredible. Everything
with the Luke and
all that stuff is incredible. I can see complaints about the second act easily. First act I can see complaints, but I still love the first act. So that's where you and I kind of differ on that movie. I do like the first act, you do not
really. No.
Let's get back to this whole thing. I knew immediately.
At this point,
because as soon as Rey and Finn walked out of the door, you're like,
When it's funny because I remember Harrison Ford saying before this movie was even a thought, he wanted to kill off all his characters. Yeah. So when this movie, everyone was like, all right, he's dying because that's what he wants. And then after the movie came out, he was like, that's what I wanted.
No, he's been saying that about his characters for a long time.
He wants Indiana Jones to die.
Yeah, he wanted Han to die after Empire. That didn't happen. He wanted Han to die in 6. You can even tell in 6 when he says, I feel like I'm never going to see her again, talking about the Falcon. Yeah. He probably wasn't originally going to see her again. Yeah. Yeah. So he finally, 3rd time's the charm, I guess. He finally got his Han Solo to die. And this is a great moment, too. Adam Driver is incredible.
And what he's talking about with him helping him is he wants Han to help him go fully to dark side.
Yeah.
Instead of what people were thinking of.
That's why I do think that there's no way you can redeem him. I think he, especially by the end of Last Jedi, he is fully on the dark side by that point. Yeah. 100%. Like, this gets him, like, 85% of the way there.
If they redeem him, it's very safe.
He's probably at, like, 95% evil right now. There's maybe a 5% chance.
When JJ said that he's taking some risks, I hope that that's one of the risks.
He's not taking a safe. He's not doing a rehash of Return of the Jedi in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, even when the light fades away and his face turns all the way red. Yeah. Like, great lighting. And, like, he's a goner. I knew immediately. And the funny thing is, before I saw the movie, the day of, because I've been avoiding trailers, been avoiding all these things, right? The day I was going to see the movie, I was seeing the movie in, like, 3 hours. Or, no, not 3 hours. In, like, 5 hours because I was about to go to wait in line with you. My friend said, oh, I had it spoiled to me. I know who dies. So the entire movie, I was thinking, oh, okay, a character's going to die at some point. Mm-hmm. I had that on my mind the entire movie.
Right.
Yeah. Of course he was going to go. And I love how he thanks him there. Remember in The Walking Dead when Glenn gets stuck underneath the garbage and he says thank you right before he shoots him? Like that reminded me of that moment. Mm. It's powerful in both. And there goes Han Solo. What's your favorite Star Wars character? Is it Luke for you?
No.
Leia using the Force.
I have always wanted Anakin to be my favorite.
Mm-hmm. You can take Vader separate from Anakin.
Yeah, I would say Vader, but I think Kylo Ren is very close.
Kylo Ren is one of my favorites, yeah. I might take Han.
I think by the end of Episode 9, Kylo Ren would be my favorite Star Wars character of all time.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think he's going to be incredible in 9.
He is so good in The Last Jedi.
And with that helmet that he has in 9, and his mask.
It looks cool. I saw the new poster, and Luke's on the poster, right?
Yeah.
Or some people thought it was Obi-Wan.
No, it's like...
Yeah. It's like, that could be Ewan McGregor.
You can see it over his mask, which I think he's going to honk the heck out of Kylo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're going to get some awesome moments. Because he was like, see you around, kid, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get some funny ass...
We're going to get some great moments.
We're going to get some great stuff.
With Luke and
Kylo. It's just going to piss Kylo off even more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be great. This entire...
You know what that gun looks like? The flamethrower. Not a flamethrower.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Elon Musk, yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. This entire thing.
And I love how it's dark.
Mm-hmm. I know. You know what I love most about the scene?
And
is
the snow.
The snow. That's exactly what I was going to say. You can see the individual like snow melting around the lightsaber.
Yeah. I won't spoil it, but there's
some cool shots.
With lightsaber. We're gonna get some lightsaber fights, and we're gonna get more than one.
All right, cool.
In some cool ass places.
Yeah. Stop talking.
So it looked exciting.
Yeah. I just hope they don't overkill it like Revenge of the Sith did.
Right.
There was way too. Like,
no, but there's a shot in the trailer though, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. No, when I was talking about balance between like lightsaber fights, space battles, and on the ground fights, this movie does it almost perfectly. Yeah. Empire does it probably the best. Yeah. A New Hope is kind of missing some lightsaber stuff. Revenge of the Sith has enough of all three of them for the entirety of the prequels. Like, it's so overkill.
I love his lightsaber.
Yeah. Look at the lens flares. Yeah. No, you mentioned that. I'm not sure if you mentioned it in the Last Jedi commentary. Maybe you did. But if... Because I think at this point we know that Rey fixes that lightsaber, right? If it looks like Kylo Ren's with it being all messed up, perfect. I would love that.
Yeah, there's a shot, but I don't think it is.
You don't think it is? They could change it, though, with CGI.
They could, but it's the environment.
Oh, okay.
I can't say anything more than that, because that's one of the cool shots.
This is brutal. Finn gets beat up in this scene. See, and a lot of people complain about, Finn being able to hold up against Kylo Ren. He was toying with him. He was toying with him.
He was toying with him, but he also got shot.
No, he was toying with him. As soon as he got hurt, he's like, "You're gone. You're done." Like he beats him in a second after that, right? He was toying with him. He was having fun. He's a kid. He's cocky.
Awesome. This reminds me of that shot from Episode 5. The lightsaber in the snow?
Yeah. That's definitely what it is. Ugh. I still think that's a better reveal than if it were Luke. Because that shows that is the title of the movie, The Force Awakens. It's her.
Yeah.
That's when you know.
That would have been cool if that was Luke, though.
It would have been cool, but I just do think that.
I never thought about that.
You never thought about that? Everybody talks about.
That would have been sweet.
No, all the people who are like, oh, I wish George Lucas made these movies instead of Disney buying it. Says, oh, that would have been Luke at that moment. It's like,
I mean, it would have been cool.
It would have been really cool.
It would have been cool, but I like
for
it
the
for
character.
Rey.
For the character,
Rey,
it is incredible. It makes the title. That is the title of the movie, The Force Awakens. If it was Luke, the Force wouldn't have awoken.
Yeah.
No, it would have just been, oh, Luke came to save the day.
And then people complain about how like how Rey's able to keep up, but once she figures out the Force, because we haven't gotten to that, she's just fighting him as like to protect herself at this point.
And we know she's a good fighter to this point.
The second he mentions the Force, she's tunes in with it.
Oh wait, I forgot that was a thing.
She doesn't know, but the thing is, people always complain, but it's like she tunes in with it, and that's how strong she is with the Force. Is when she tunes in with it, it works. But she doesn't know how to use it. She had to be reminded of it in order to use it.
Exactly what Obi-Wan was telling Luke in the first one. Like, let it guide you.
Yeah,
let it kind of take over. You gotta be one with the Force. That's exactly what you have to be. Yeah. And she does that. And it works for her.
Here's the thing. I think she's connected to Palpatine.
Okay.
And you will see it in this fight.
You will see it. Because of her little stabby thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know some people, you've mentioned it before, like that's how you would fight if you're new.
They had a swordsman rate the lightsaber fights.
Think about it. One. JJ said he knew from writing this movie that Palpatine, that he thought, he envisioned Palpatine being bad.
So hold on, let me just say, okay.
And the hand thing.
Mm-hmm. And the hand thing. I get that, right? But if Rey has something to do with Palpatine, right? How would that carry over Palpatine's stabby fight style?
I just think, well, I don't know. But, I don't know.
It's a stretch.
It is, but I just think that she...
I'll take the hand in
But
space.
then you can tell when she gets going, though, you can tell she tunes in with some type of dark.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell. The way she looks...
In the book, in the novelization, she hears Snoke's voice in her head saying, do it. Or something like that.
I love this.
Also,
but I guarantee you that's the same set.
Exactly, as the green one. Yeah. I was going to say, it looks exactly like it, and it's such a good parallel to the first time they were encountered, and then to now.
Because how afraid she was at
cutting this tree. I love that moment. Yeah. Did you see the set for this that they built?
Yeah.
It's incredible. It looks almost exactly like it, and it's like, it's such a beautiful set. And the lighting.
They were saying, so I saw an interview with Daisy that she said the throne room scene, that's what it looked like.
Yeah. No, that's what irritates me so much about Attack of the Clones is Palpatine's office is all CGI. Yeah. And
you don't
in
need
Revenge
that
of the
to be
Sith,
CGI.
I know, it's such a simple set. And in Revenge of the Sith, they have a full actual practical set for it. It's like, thank you.
See, right here. Okay. So she hasn't been tuned in. That's why she's pretty much being beat. Yeah. And he doesn't want to kill her. Yeah. Because he wants to use her.
He wants to use the power.
Right there, and then she's like, "Oh,
the Force."
The Force.
And
I don't know how you can forget about it.
Hear the Force theme. Well, she's so like adrenaline. Like she's always fought on her own merits rather than relying on the Force. She is relying on the Force for this part, and then Last Jedi, she learns how to use both her own skills as she's practicing with the lightsaber to being in tune with the Force itself.
And we've always seen Sith in Star Wars. They don't try to kill the Jedi immediately because they want to turn them first. Yeah. For whatever reason, that's what they always want to do. They always want to bring someone with them.
That's why I hate the rule of two, and that's why I kind of wish they were abandoning it at that point. Like Kylo probably doesn't know the rule of two, right?
But it's just a Sith mentality. Yeah. That's what it is.
To get people to join them. Yeah. I love reacting with the snow. The lighting in the scene is incredible.
Then Sith kill each other. That's why the rule of two was created.
That's why the rule of two was created. But like, it's such a dumb rule
because they always bring someone with them, and then they end up getting killed by that person.
Like, why would you? Okay, let's.
Vader kills Palpatine. Palpatine kills his man. Like it's just a cycle.
Who created the rule
Kylo kills Snoke.
Who created the rule of two? Was it Bane or was it Bane?
Yeah.
All right. So Bane is like, okay, we're going to create the rule too. It's going to be me, and it's going to be you, and someday you're going to find an apprentice so you can kill me. Wait, hold on. What? Never mind. Let's not do that.
All right. But Palpatine knew that would probably happen, and that's why he learned how to That's why
cheat death.
the Plagueis thing, right?
Yeah.
How to cheat death.
He knew how to cheat death, probably.
Yeah, and that's probably... I think he's going to be fully
honestly,
alive.
the more that I hear that Palpatine's coming back, and the way that you can bring back the way of cheating death, gets me excited, because like that was such a cool idea.
And that's how you can connect Plagueis,
Uh-huh.
and that's how you can connect that stupid staff.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we're going to get an answer. I said that a year or 2
So
years
maybe
ago. But
like Rey. So whatever Palpatine did.
what if that thing is a key?
A key to
What if, like, I don't know, what if Palpatine needs it?
Palpatine left it with Rey. This is what I was thinking. Maybe Palpatine left that staff with Rey.
Yeah.
Yeah, for whatever reason. I don't know.
Because if that was Plagueis's, then he would have it, essentially.
Yeah.
Or, like, he would know where it is.
I wonder if JJ originally intended Snoke to be that big.
That'd be funny. That maybe.
If that's the first thing I'll ask JJ Abrams.
I remember in the trailer seeing...
that shot and thinking it was somebody else? Or...
No, I thought it... I nailed it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I remember we did... so the day before we went to go see... Or before Episode 7 came out, my college radio station, we did a 2-hour show of our predictions.
Yeah.
I wish I still had that. I think I might have it somewhere.
Uh-huh.
But if you go back and listen to it, I nailed everything.
Yeah.
I literally nailed everything.
Mm-hmm.
Did it hurt the experience? No, it didn't.
Mm-hmm. I do think the first time I saw this movie, I loved it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I always had that feeling like, oh, it was exactly like A New Hope.
It was safe.
I was like, it was a safe movie. I always felt like, okay,
but it
could have been different, but like I love A New Hope so much, like I was okay with it. I always had that like, this is definitely a rehash. They have like, look, this is a Death Star blowing up moment. It's A New Hope, but the characters and the things that it sets up, I think is incredible. I think it's all great. Whatever you think of Last Jedi is whatever you think of Last Jedi, right? That's going to be up to the audience, no matter who you are.
And 9 can fix
For
some
me,
of
it works, and I do think a lot of it can be really delved into and not reverse. Like, dig deeper. That's what you got to do with these movies. Like improv, say yes and don't say no. Don't say no. You're not allowed to love in Star Wars. Like Jedi can't love. That's such a stupid idea. You're saying no. You're putting yourself in a box. That's why I hate the prequel so much. It puts the Force in a box. It makes it less mystical. It makes it scientific. It puts a bunch of rules on the Force that was never there before.
Look. You just saw Poe look back at Rey right there.
Yeah. Well, they never like met.
Oh, still.
Poe's like, who's her? Like he's more worried about Finn. He doesn't care. He doesn't know about Rey at this point, really. He's heard some stories, but he's like, I don't know who you are.
This bothers me. They fixed it in a comic, but she didn't hug Chewie.
Mm-hmm.
She hugs Rey.
Yeah.
It's one of the things.
I think it's
like,
a
weird.
thing, like, I feel like it's a Force connection.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Because she can definitely feel Rey's pain.
Right, for Han, yeah.
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 And Chewie definitely got his hug.
Well,
it's
yeah,
not like
they
he did
fix it in
yeah.
the comic.
It's not like he did.
In the comic, they literally show it.
Uh-huh. I wonder if they shot it and deleted it. It was deleted scene, and maybe it'll be in Rise of Skywalker.
They can't. No, it was said they'd never even filmed.
They never filmed it. All right, so why in the world is R2 turning on?
Exactly, like that. That's the one thing that still.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we would get the answer in 8 because of I thought Luke did it or something, but obviously we didn't get that, so it was just weird. He gets his arm fixed really fast.
Yeah. Maybe it's a thing like, okay, the map is together. It needs to be together for a certain amount of time. Wait, where was BB-8 during that entire last
Well, I
battle?
guess he was in the X-Wing with Poe.
Oh, yeah.
So he wasn't there.
Yeah.
But
they met at one point. They were
bit.
there for a little bit, and maybe it needs certain time to boot up, right? And then it's separated.
That's a stretch,
maybe like Luke set a failsafe, right? If they get together and they get yanked apart, it won't open up. Because if R2 turns on, the entire thing is busted, right? I don't know.
Well, it is the end of the map.
Yeah. So BB-8 only had the... Wait, did BB-8 have the start or the finish?
He had the finish.
Okay. Hold on. Yeah. I still think you could probably figure out where it is in that box. No, it's pretty big. I don't know. That's the entire galaxy. Who knows? If you guys have an idea of how R2 turned on, comment below.
Yeah.
Give us your theories. Maybe they'll answer it. But, like, maybe it's a thing. They need to be together for a certain amount of time. If they're separated for whatever reason, it cancels it. So it's like, okay. I don't know. Maybe there was time for her to meet Poe.
Oh yeah, I think there was.
I think it was more like it never happened on screen, so we're gonna do it, and it's gonna be like,
just,
makes people think.
It's just weird.
Yeah, I don't think it's weird. I actually really like that moment. It's like, oh yeah, they never interact.
They never interact.
They never interact.
But you're like, they could have introduced themselves.
Yeah. But then if you find them next time in The Last Jedi and they're like all buddy and they're talking with each other, she leaves pretty fast. Like Last Jedi takes place immediately after this.
Right.
So it's not like, there's a lot you could do in between that time. Because it feels pretty immediate. Because Finn is still knocked out. It doesn't take that long to heal in Star Wars with the Bacta tank. Like, it really doesn't take that long.
Because 8 takes place right after this.
Yeah, and Finn pretty much wakes up almost immediately at the beginning of 8. This got everybody so excited.
Yeah. This was really cool.
Yeah.
Just the music, and you're like, okay, we're gonna see Luke, and then it ends, and you're like, son of a gun!
Yeah, there's Billy Lord.
There's his arm fixed!
Yep.
That was fast.
I'm really excited for Billy Lord to be in episode 9. She is so ridiculously good in Booksmart. That's my number 3, by the way, of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love Booksmart so much. And, like, what better way to continue Carrie Fisher's legacy than have her daughter have, like, a huge part in the movie? Mm-hmm. It's really cool. Also, this entire piece, I think it's the Jedi Steps to the finale. That entire piece of score is a masterpiece. Because it goes through, like, almost the entire catalog. It's so good. It's funny, Apple's new wallpaper in the new OS looks exactly like that. Look at R2. He can't climb stairs because he lost his jet boosters. Odds of him having his jet boosters back in 9.
Hope not.
Look at all those porks flying around. No, that was straight up just a normal bird.
See, and this so there's another thing at the end of this movie that's like, I wonder if JJ set that there just in case.
He wanted the grave?
Yeah.
You've been saying that was a grave the entire time.
It looks like one.
It looks like a grave. It's look at all these rocks.
I know, but still, it looks like it's out of place.
Yeah, it could have been a grave. If you guys don't know, if you've never seen this theory, or like when she walks up to Luke, there's to the left of him, there's this rock sticking up, and it looks like a gravestone, and everybody's thinking maybe that is his wife and Rey's mom.
Right.
That was the theory.
That was one of the theories. The other was for Rey. That Rey was one of like his students, and she got taken.
Oh,
and that's why Kylo says, "What girl?"
Yeah.
See, it looks
so much like a gravestone, but like it's a rock. It's how the dirt like moves up on it. Yeah.
So, but I mean, you never know. JJ could have been like, "We could use this."
Yeah.
Maybe they could use this. He had a different vision. He had a completely different vision than
that. I would love to ask
Ryan.
JJ Abrams that.
Yeah.
Yep, blocked out from the Force. Yeah, he probably knows. Okay, yep. Now Leia really needs me.
Mm-hmm. But then he refuses in 8.
He does refuse because he's like, I don't want any part of it. I know Leia really needs. That's why he goes into the Force. The first thing he does was try to contact Leia. It's like, oh, is Leia really desperate for me? And he finds out Leia's injured. She's out of the fight right now. He needed to come back. He needed to be that legend that everybody made him to be. The story of the Resistance taking out the Empire was all on him, and he was put up as like a deity, as like a god to the world because the Force is real.
See, look at the back of that.
Yeah,
it's pretty flat, like, and it's out of place. So like that's the thing. It was like, that's what if I could ask JJ anything, I want to know what his initial vision for 8 would have been if he were to have. I think we'll probably get some of that in 9.
I honestly don't think he had. Like, he had ideas of what to set up. And like, okay, I have fun with this. I have a sandbox.
Well, I know, and
that's what he did with Lost.
Well, and that's probably what he did with that.
Yeah,
he was like, that could be. You never know. That could have been a grave, and because if you go back in episode 8 and look at that same shot, it's not there.
Is it not there?
No.
Really? I was gonna say we need to go to that island and see if it's a rock.
Right. And I believe there's a shot of where it was.
See, this is why it sucks why we did The Last Jedi first, because we could have talked about it. Yeah.
I mean, we can pull it up, but like,
yeah,
it's. I don't think it's there. That's the weird thing.
It's not on Disney Plus. Never mind. I can't. I could do it from Netflix. I don't know. Either way, that was our commentary for The Force Awakens. I love this movie. I think.
Yeah, I absolutely love this movie.
Yeah.
If you guys want to know our rankings, I guess we could do it.
We should do a video.
You want to do a different video?
Let's do a video. Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have enough pops?
There you go. That's amazing. I forgot about that video.
Yeah,
we'll do that in a different video. But yeah, this is up there for me.
Lupita Nyong'o, wasted. She's so good. Andy Serkis, yeah. Domhnall Gleeson is great. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that is our commentary for Force Awakens. I will have the Last Jedi commentary up next week. I'll do this 2 weeks before the movie comes out, 1 week before the movie comes out, and then we'll have the movie coming out. You'll get my review. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys check out you somewhere. No. All right. Sure. Thanks for watching.
YouTube is destroying.
YouTube is destroying its own
stuff.
Yeah,
So.
it's the snake eating its own tail right now. So yeah, that's our commentary. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, comment below. Tell us what you thought, your thoughts on theories, things that you are excited about in The Last Jedi or in The Rise of Skywalker. Don't spoil anything for me. Thanks guys for watching.
Don't even look at the comments.
People won't make it this far. If you did make it this far, say hi.